Hello, and welcome back to Worldview Connections. I'm Isaac Matthews, and this is our series on morality. We're starting today's discussion where we left off on the last video, that many Americans basically look to the founders of this country, the Declaration of Independence. Those in America look at the U.S. Constitution as a sacred text, as if it were revealed truth directly from God. What do you think? Do you believe that God inspired these founders of freedom and liberty in America? Because in America, there's a similar percentages when it comes to faith in God. The dominant religion is the major religion is Christianity. Next is Islam. Both of them based on Judaic, the Judaism, the teachings of ancient biblical leaders and figures. 88% of people in the world believe God exists in varying degrees. And according to research, uh, there's most people believe God is the source of morality. If you want to see more about faith in God and the religious landscape surveys that we've gone into this before in our epistemology and religion part of the video series, but really looking at this, these topics and moral issues in the religious landscape show you how much people's faith in God and the sacred text they have forms their views on social and political views, political parties, what their political ideologies will be, what government should be, how government should aid the poor, or military ideas about abortion. These topics that this arrow is pointing at, these are huge issues that are formed by people's beliefs, even about science and human evolution, and about how do we have a responsibility to take care of the environment of our planet and our nature as human beings. So religious worldviews have a significant impact on systems of morality in every culture around the world. So what is faith? Is faith in God a source of morality? They define it. You can read these definitions online about faith. I've read them before in other videos, but this one I want to put here that based on the Latin and the French words, con and the Latin is with, fide, so with these words that basically mean trust in a person, thing, or concept. So with this trust, you live with that trust in God. In the context of religion, one can define faith as a belief in God or in the doctrines or teachings of religion. Religious people often think of faith as confidence based on a perceived degree of warrant, while others who are more skeptical of religion tend to think of faith as simply belief without evidence. How do you define faith, and what is faith in your life with your moral system? Let us know in a comment below. Is faith in God the ultimate source of morality? Do you get your system of morality from religion and sacred text? And some people argue, though, that this is too subjective, too relative, that depending on what verse you want to use in the Bible or the Quran section, how you interpret that or how you apply it can mean so many different things. And again, go back to the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence in America. So many people look at it differently and interpret it differently. So, does moral goodness come from God or the gods, depending on your religious worldview? Did God discover morality, though? Was morality there before God? Does morality transcend the gods? And do they simply, God or the gods, simply govern by this morality? Or is God the source of morality? Are things good because God says it's good, or bad or sinful because God says it's sinful? If God and religion is a source of morality, why are there so many variations and disagreements about what is right and wrong among all the religious organizations and sacred texts and leaders? Morality is only one example of huge disagreements between religious groups, as we know. But I want to finish our discussion today on this topic. People say, well, you can't have morality without the Bible or, without this holy text, but it's interpreted in so many different ways. Which interpretation is the correct way? Let us know what you think about this. And thank you for joining us in Worldview Connections. I'm Isaac Matthews, and this series about morality.